What's up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. It's Nattie Boss, registered dietitian, fitness coach, and lifestyle coach of bodybyboss.com. Now, if you're not aware yet, this week is National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. For those who are new, I want to tell my story in a really short, concise way so you can kind of get the gist, but I want to move forward in this video. So I developed an eating disorder in high school basically as a result of a combination of things, but first and foremost, it was low self-esteem. It was not the feeling of not feeling like I fit in with other people, constantly comparing myself to other people. I did start modeling at a young age, so obviously that culture completely spiraled me downward and just made me constantly compare myself to others, constantly just want to be somebody else instead of just embracing who I am. And it really just developed into this bulimic frenzy where I just had no control mentally or physically of my body, and I developed vertigo, I developed hair loss, I developed just inability to think, lack of mental focus, and I was a straight A student. I was super athletic, so people started to realize down the line something was wrong, and that's kind of where I decided to take action because I was at first a little bit fearful, that people were going to think and judge me, basically that I'm not perfect, because I had this huge fear of not being perfect, and it's still something I struggle with as I get older, but I'm much more aware of it now. So that's a little bit about me. I was able to heal myself of this bulimia through different measures. A lot of it just had to do with positivity, meditation, affirmations, things like that, a little bit of counseling here and there, but essentially, like, through changing my mindset, I changed my life. And so what I wanted you to get out of this Eating Disorder Awareness Week, a little bit of a different spin than what most videos might be about. I like to use these experiences and these tribulations that life throws at you and figure out how can I learn something, because everything happens for a reason, and I had to undergo that situation in my life so I could have realizations, so I could be a little bit stronger and understand from a different perspective. And so I wanted to share with you 5 things that my eating disorder taught me. Number 1, you cannot heal from a place of hate. This is crucial because when you have this hatred, this anger, this resentment, this feeling bottled up inside you, how can you expect to heal? This is a negative energy, and what you're feeling on the inside, your thoughts, that negative thoughts on the inside, all of that is going to be the energy that you emit. And so how can you expect to heal, which is a positive energy, when all you are embodying is a negative energy? So you really have to start to develop these gratitude practices and start loving yourself, loving everything around you. Even something as simple as being in traffic. How can you spin that to be a little bit more positive so you can love the situation and not hate it? So you can just heal as a person, and this is a holistic kind of healing, not just if you have an eating disorder. Like the traffic example, if you're in traffic, how can you make that a little bit more pleasurable so you can have a little bit more of a positive vibe than a negative vibe? So instead of cursing and flipping people off at being in traffic, why not turn on your favorite radio station and just jam out a little bit? It's your time to just kind of dance, sing, and just do what you want in your car. So that's an example of just kind of making it a little bit more positive so that you can have a little bit more love, a little bit more happiness, rather than that hateful feeling. You'll never be able to heal mentally or physically with that bottled inside. The second thing is, don't be afraid to seek help. And as I told you in the intro, I was a super perfectionist growing up, and like I said, I still struggle with it. So seeking help was something that was terrifying for me. I was always so used to doing everything on my own. I loved the feeling of doing everything on my own so that I could say, hey, I went over this obstacle, but I did it by myself. I'm awesome. Like, I did this. I didn't need anybody's help. And honestly, if that's your thought process, you have to get rid of it. Not only does it relieve some pressure off of you to being perfect, but there's people around you who want to support you, so why not use it? Use those connections, use those positive energies to help you, because guess what? Life is not meant to be lived on your own. We have billions of people in this world, so there's at least one person that can resonate with you. And honestly, that's a lot of times why people go on social media, because maybe their current circle isn't supporting them, so somebody online may be able to offer that support system. Once I was able to open up and finally share my story, finally tell people the struggles I was internally dealing with, I'm getting a little emotional. But seriously, like, I remember the feeling. It was like a 3,000 pound weight lifted off my shoulder, and all I did was tell somebody. Like, I I couldn't even believe how much of a healing process, the catharsis that was. But I don't want to get too emotional, so as long as you're not afraid to seek help, you will always be a better person, you will always be able to heal, you will always be able to grow and evolve, because we are not meant to do things alone. And then the more that you think that, the way harder life is going to be. The third thing that an eating disorder has taught me, oh my dear God, this is so important. Life is meant to be lived. When I had an eating disorder, I missed out on so many social events, interactions, connections, relationships. When I knew that people were going to go out and drink and party and just eat foods, I didn't do it. I just stayed in because I was like, you know, I obviously don't want to eat the calories. I don't want to, do this. If it's a public bathroom, I can't, throw up, so I'm not going to eat. If I don't eat, they're going to judge me. Like, I had this snowball of just ideas that who knows if they were even true or not. They didn't happen, but it's these things that you work yourself up with. And life is meant to be lived, short and simple. So if there's going to be something that is going to prevent you from living your life to your fullest and just creating connections and just being your best self, it maybe drinking on a Saturday night isn't necessarily being your best self, but if it's just bonding with friends you haven't seen in a couple months, friggin' do it, okay? Don't worry that you're on that diet that week. You can make up for it. You can do other things to get you back on track. Don't miss out on life, because there's the years that I was in that eating disorder, I missed out on so much because I was stuck in my head. And it's the biggest thing I want you to take away here. You just can't miss out. Enjoy your life. Fourth thing that my eating disorder taught me was how impactful our thoughts are on our life. I didn't realize how negative I was towards myself. Like, thinking back, I remember the negative affirmations I would constantly tell myself on a subconscious level. Basically, like, I would constantly repeat to myself, you're not worth it, you're ugly, you're too fat. Like, I would say these things to myself verbally in the mirror because it was just something that, like, I believed so much. And because of that, I couldn't heal. Once I read these self-help books, which is one of the first steps to my healing process, and they told me about changing those mindsets and switching to positive affirmations, my world opened up. I started doing the exact same thing that I did, but everything positive. And it will feel weird at first. It will feel weird. It'll feel like you don't believe it, because guess what? You don't. Just like anything, it takes a habit, it takes consistency and persistence. And once you do that, you're going to start believing, and then possibilities are endless. You can do anything you set your mind to. Being able to heal myself of that, because I know how dark of a place I was, it is so important. So if you feel that you're negative, your tendencies tend to be negative, your thoughts tend to be negative, when something happens, your first reaction is something negative, try to immediately switch that to something positive. Find that silver lining. And it's something I continue to work with. An eating disorder isn't necessarily just a physical thing. Once that's healed, it's something that people work on their entire lives to make sure they don't relapse. And although I don't feel like I will ever relapse from a physical standpoint and be bulimic again, there's still those mental struggles that I struggle with. Everybody's human, so it's still something you battle with. It's recognizing it and always trying to be 1% better than you were yesterday. And that's all you can really ask for, because life's complicated, life's tough, and as long as you can be positive about it and always try to find the positivity in things, your life will be so much better, I promise. Fifth and final thing that my eating disorder taught me is that you can never find happiness if you don't start with yourself. Now, basically all of these are intertwined with each other, but long story short, you have to be happy with who you are right now. You might want to change your life, you might want to be with somebody else, but be happy with who you currently are, the situation you're currently in. Always remember, this is something that I literally always go back to whenever I feel like I want to complain, is there's always going to be someone better and there's always going to be someone worse. So in a situation, where you feel like this is the worst thing in my life, remember, there's always somebody worse, all right? Do you have a house over your head? Most likely. Do you have food? Are you able to eat dinner every night? Most likely. These are things you need to start appreciating. Be happy with what you have. Once you are, you'll be able to manifest and cultivate more of that happiness into your life, and more things that make you happy will become abundant and apparent. Whereas if you continue to be unhappy with your life, you're just gonna have this trickle effect where everything that's unhappy is going to just keep happening. Something that really helped me when I was going through just like the stress of life was we got cats and we got animals, and animals always bring joy into lives, and that was just one thing that, you know, always makes me feel so grateful and always helps me go back to what truly matters in life. The innocence in the animals and just the constant love that they give. It's like, you know what, I have to be happy with what I have right now. I can always work to improve my life and to improve myself, but you don't want to improve yourself to change yourself. You want to improve yourself to just make yourself a little bit better than you were yesterday. These are the 5 things that my eating disorder has taught me. It's taught me so much more, but these were the 5 that I really wanted to talk with you about today because it means so much to me. And having healed myself for years now, like I said, I still go through those mental struggles, but I work on it every day to just be better than I was yesterday. And when I think back to where I was during that time, I can't even think back because I get so emotional. I can't even believe that I had those negative thoughts about myself and just had zero faith in my abilities and just didn't think of myself with any worth. And I just don't want any of you to feel that way because it was a terrible feeling and you really don't deserve it. Everybody is so unique. Everybody offers so much in this world. You really just need to find what yours is. And I really hope that this helps inspire you a little bit and gives you a little bit of an idea of, you know, everybody has a different story. Everybody goes through different things, and you have to really be mindful of that, and how you treat people is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. So always start with yourself, and everything around you will start to unfold in beautiful ways that you've never imagined. If you resonate with this in any way, let me know what your favorite tip that I shared was. Share one of your own in the comment section below. Don't forget to grab my free lifestyle guide in the comment section. It's my lifestyle tips that I've used to help me stay healthy over the years. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.